Since Adolf Hitler.
Perhaps it might be better, Mr. President, if you were more concerned with the American people than with your image in the history books.
And there it is. And we don't have Matt yet. Matt is dealing with health issues, and Marco is dealing with tattoo issues. I don't know. What do we call it?
Traffic.
But it's true. We did call an audible. We called an audible because tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is election night. And as we always like to go for current events, what is more current of an event than the current game that's on right now, which is red team versus blue team? Current, the score is red team 232, blue team 198. First team to 270 wins. Welcome to the locker room. I'm Tom.
I'm Chuck.
And the rest of the locker room will be here shortly. But we have some guests, and I wanted to give them a chance to talk about who they are and what they do. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Locker Room Live, the stars of Two Cops, One Donut, Eric Levine and Banning Sweatland. We just got finished. This is a marathon. We just got finished doing your show. Welcome to our show.
Thank you, sir.
We appreciate the invite.
Yeah, we have a big head start on y'all. Not you two, because you were on our podcast. But everybody listening, if you are not partaking in an adult beverage at this moment, you need to. Are you drinking an old fashioned right now, Chuck?
No, I'm just drinking straight whiskey, dude.
Oh, when you picked that up, I thought I seen a red cherry in there. It might have been your shirt going through the glass.
Oh yeah, no, it's no red cherry. I had one earlier, but no.
Yeah, he does drink old fashions, so you're not.
I mean, I'm not. I love. And normally, that's all I drink is whiskey, but I just didn't want to be obliterated.
Well, once we get to the locker room, Chuck's fine with being obliterated. He wanted to be on his gentlemanly best.
Oh, on my part. Oh, I like it. Yeah, I say my. It's ours now, me and Banning.
Yes.
With our Two Cops, One Donut stuff.
So tell us about the show. Banning, Eric, you guys, the floor is yours. Let's take it back to our war stories, Chuck. The floor is theirs. Tell us about your show and how you guys ended up here. And now it used to be Two Cops, One Donut in name only. Now it is actually Two Cops. Go ahead.
Correct. So I'll lay the groundwork, Banning, and you sweep up, buddy. I started the podcast Two Cops, One Donut under the premise of me being two cops. I am a military police officer still. A security forces in the Air Force, which is just being a base cop. And then I am also a municipal cop in, we'll just say, the northern Texas area. And been in police work 18 years. As I was going, I was using that GI Bill, baby. Chuck, you know what I'm talking about for sure. I wanted to get my master's
right now.
Yeah, I went for my master's, and part of that was a thesis, and my thesis was cops underutilize social media. Like, it's a valuable tool. Everybody thinks that police should be using it. We just don't use it to its full potential. And when we do use it, we use it as propaganda. Oh, look, here's, a cop petting a puppy. Oh,
I
look.
love that term, but I think you need to explain propaganda for our audience.
Right. And so, propaganda is like, oh, here's a cop playing basketball with two minority kids in the street, and we just happen to have 3 different camera angles. And then they share that.
Professional lighting.
Yeah, as though that is the true life of what a cop is out there doing. Right. And don't get me wrong, that stuff happens all the time. But the way that police are sharing it is fake. You're not winning over the people you need to win over. You're only placating those that are already fans of yours. So I didn't know how to overcome that with social media. I knew I wanted to do that. I was trying to figure out a way to do that. And eventually the podcast idea came up. So I wanted to be able to bridge the gap with the community through the podcast by education, humor, perspective, and humanizing. That was like my little combo. That's what I wanted to do. Well, in that, I was doing it for a year or so and figuring out new things, and kind of like how you guys are doing a live right now. Like I ended up doing a second section of what I do with a live and getting into education and talking to people that want to be a part of this, like you have right now in your live comments and whatnot. And Tim Wordsmith, I see, we'll definitely have lunch, buddy, if you want to. And then another thing that I ended up doing was learning how to make shorts and reels and making these quick clips that make a point that either educate, make people laugh, or show cops calling out bad police work. I think that was another section that was missing, was like, us cops don't hold other cops accountable. That's a big complaint. And I was here to show you, like, yes, we do. You just don't hear it or see it. And we're not afraid to do it.
You're not a cop. The only people that hate bad cops worse than the American public is good cops.
Right.
Good cops hate bad cops more than anybody else.
Yeah. So that was kind of the idea. And as we got going along, I met this big bastard here, Banning Sweatland, country boy here in Texas. And
you are a corn-fed white boy, my friend. Oh my God.
We did a podcast together. We got hooked up on LinkedIn, and just kind of hit it off, like a good couple would. And I said, hey man, you do the podcast, did the podcast. Well, then we started doing the lives. We got to talking more, and it's very rare to find somebody that has the same exact mindset that you have when it comes to education and police work in general. So as Banning and I would say probably over the course of a year, did the lives and stuff like that, I was like, I got to ask him, man. Like, we're too much alike in the way that we do things. And so I hit him up. I asked him if he wanted to be a part, and he did. So Banning, I'll let you take it away, buddy.
You bet. And what you said about bridging the gap, that's what sold me when I met Eric. You've got so many different opinions across this country, and Eric just brings in the real. Eric, presumably, he'll go out and interview these folks, bring in cops, not cops, the whole, if somebody's a naysayer in law enforcement, he invites them to the studio. He's not afraid to do that and to get their opinion on it. And that's how I operate. We want to truly bridge that gap with the community. And that's what I started doing on LinkedIn. And for whatever reason, I was blessed to get a lot of connections on LinkedIn. And all I want to do is humanize that badge. Doing it for 21 years. So those that don't know me, I just retired about 6 months ago, and I'm picked up.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I survived. And I did it for 21 years. I did a municipal up in the North Texas area as well, in the Dallas Fort Worth area, in a city there. And then once I retired from that gig, I moved out here to BFE out in the middle of nowhere, and did law enforcement again, running the patrol division. And it was a different animal. I mean, I'd already had at the time 17, 18 years of experience from municipal experience. Then I came up here and I was wrangling cattle, goats, deer, just it was a completely different animal on top of the normal law enforcement stuff. And then meeting Eric on LinkedIn, it just kind of jived. We both want the same thing. And that's for the public to truly understand what we do and to don't judge so fast. We kind of break down those facts for a layman that doesn't have the training that we do to truly understand what may have been going through the mind of that officer when he took that action. And that's what we do.
And I think that's an important point, because I like to say that your cops and firefighters and veterans, when they typically encounter the average person, they're encountering that person on their worst day. And for us, it's Tuesday, right? And so understanding how to deal with human misery and how to deal with those kinds of events and whatnot is difficult, but also understanding that it's difficult from our perspective. Like we're people just like you. We just have a different thought process, and trying to clue you into that thought process is helpful so that you can understand why we think the way we do, why we see things the way we do. Right. I think that's what you guys are all about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I apologize to those that are in the chat. For some reason, it will not let me chat with you guys.
Oh, and just kicked him out too.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Not only will not let him chat, it won't let him hang out.
Well, I think it's great.
Danny,
Maybe
you can.
And
yeah,
y'all's audio just went completely off. I think I can hear you now.
oh,
There you go.
Oh, he's back.
Oh.
There he is.
There he is.
Now you're back.
Yeah. I was trying to join the comments and it would not let me join, and now all of a sudden it did.
Guys, I think there's a conspiracy going on. It's election night, and I think that they're trying to censor people, and they're trying to just do a whole EMP blackout. Hold on, I should probably go and grab my tinfoil hat over here.
Wait, I have something for this. Hold on. Go get it, Chuck.
I'm telling you, there are going to be some blackouts tonight. Okay, I grew up in a small town. You know, my whole family worked for a small town. There's going to be some blackouts, guys. Okay.
Well, the current score for those of you monitoring the game tonight. Tonight is election night. It is November 5th, 2024. The current score is red team 232 points, blue team 212 points as projected by foxnews.com. Does anybody else have a different score based on the projected scores from other media like Google and or CNN?
I have 230, 185.
Wait, what is it?
230, 185.
230 to 185. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got 205 Harris, 230 Trump.
Okay, so they're all pretty close. Trump's in the lead according to all of these.
He's about to win Pennsylvania, it looks like. I hope.
I've got Newsmax's up here, and it just refreshed at 247 Trump, 204 Harris.
247 to 204. All right. So we are all watching the same sports event, and we were all getting different scores. But as we all know, we went to bed with one score last time this Super Bowl was played. We all went to bed with one score, and we woke up to another score. Yep. And as it was pointed out to me, the last time this event was played, it was the Steelers versus the Patriots. So we will be giving you updates because we are live, and who gives a shit on this live event tonight. But we're also going to talk about what's been going on in the country. We're going to be talking about current events. Fuzzy is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Cause see, what had happened was the flux capacitor and the widget wob in my car did not want to work today after I got off work. After
wait a
dealing
minute.
with the fucking case. No, I gotta get this fucking out.
Okay, get it. Do it. Oh! The flux capacitor is all fucked up.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Okay. Do it.
Let me explain. No. There's too much. Let me sum up. I had a fucking Karen of a mom. She wasn't even the one getting fucking tattooed. Talking about, but wait, can we go over the design again? And I said, bitch, we've been over this motherfucker during the consultation twice. You approved it. He approved it. I finally looked at the kid and said, hey, who's getting tattooed? You or her? Well, it's for my mother. So I was like, oh, fantastic. That's great. Are we tattooing you? She said, no. I said, okay. How about if I talk to the person who's actually getting the tattoo, which is a young man? So before you add 3 more fucking flowers and make this a fucking bunchel, like he's a fucking trained seasoned florist, right? No longer a fucking memorial to the great grandmother that fucking raised this man. Now it's like, hi, we're gonna do this fabulous floral tattoo all over his arms because it looks so fucking. I'm done. And you know what? I'm fucking over it. I'm just holy fucking shit. Eric, Manny, how you guys doing? Sorry I'm late.
Good brother, how are you?
So, I had a good one. I finally told her I have to go sit up front. I said, you know what? We have some lovely, comfortable chairs up in the waiting room. They calling your name. They're calling your name. You should go answer that. Okay,
Hell
hi.
yeah, dude.
So so that made me late. And then, God, cool. Hey, I'm here.
And
How's
here we
everyone
are. Well, should we try this again? Welcome to the locker room. I'm Tom.
I'm Chuck.
doing? And I'm the great fucking Karen Slayer, apparently.
So you missed. Matt will be along shortly because apparently
won't.
he's terrible.
No, he won't.
Yeah,
No, he
that's
won't.
true. Anytime
No, he
you're on
won't.
the show, he's not on the show.
Didn't
Nah,
he?
that's-
Wasn't he the reason we were supposed to do it tonight?
Yes. Which
Yes.
threw my whole fucking schedule. That's a whole other thing. I'm like, I can't kill him. Anyway.
If he doesn't make it, Fuzzy's going to be pissed.
So we are monitoring it, just Fuzzy for your edification. We are monitoring a hockey game where the red team,
Okay.
according to my score, the red team is at 232 points and the blue team is at 212 points. Chuck, what do you have for a score?
I'm on a 230, 185 still. Go Sports. Go Red Team.
Go Sports, go Red Team. All right. Bannon, what do you have?
I've got 240. This is through Newsmax. 247 Trump, 204 Harris.
Oh,
Probably
247 blue or 247 red. Okay. All right. And Eric?
I'm at 205 blue, 230 red.
Wow. Okay. So,
Okay.
The score, unlike other sporting events, depends on which
Which
outlet you follow.
Yep.
I thought we'd give Fuzzy give you a few minutes to talk to Eric and Banning. They are both in Texas with you.
We're Texas brothers.
Hey, look at that.
And I told them.
I mean, but I'm like, I'm in Austin.
Yeah,
So I don't know how like
country.
Texas. It's like
You guys all got a
questionable, like,
bussies.
how
Are you
dare
saying it's like
sir?
gay Texas?
How dare you, sir? That's Bucky's.
They keep it
Yeah,
weird.
bussies.
That's about it.
Is Bucky's really that awesome? Because I really want to go to Bucky's.
Tell me,
Yes, like a
Tom,
TA
let
in a
me
Walmart had sex.
listen.
I always get pickled quail eggs.
Pickled quail eggs? What?
They have
There's a
a.
gas station that serves pickled quail eggs?
I don't even know if you
Fucking
can.
artisanal.
I don't even know if you can call it a gas station, man, because there's like 200 pumps, all automotive. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like 200 pumps. It's the size of a fucking warehouse, and I don't mean a small warehouse. I'm not talking about like a 10,000 square foot, like fly by night, like fucking Amazon drop shipping warehouse. I'm talking about like this is a fucking like warehouse. Like if you don't pay attention to your kids running, you will lose the motherfuckers. And next thing you know, there's a giant stuffed fucking Bucky's, like a guy in a fucking Bucky's outfit, saying out there greeting people, and people are just gravitating to take selfies with that motherfucker.
Well, all I know is
Bucky's is a
I'm
thing.
in Idaho, and people show up with Bucky's merch,
Yeah.
and you feel left out.
Yeah, it's
Bro,
coveted.
you literally get chopped brisket sandwiches. Like they're doing it in front of you in the middle of the store.
Yeah.
So, Eric, how far are you, and Banning, how far are you both from Austin?
I'm 3.5 to 3 hours, 40 minutes away.
Yeah, pretty similar. I'm right there by Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington area.
Oh yeah. That's like 3.5 hours from.
So, if you need a good tattoo,
there's plenty of good artists in Dallas, but thanks. I'm just saying.
why are you
it's big.
underselling yourself?
I'm like, it's big.
I know you have
big.
imposter syndrome.
Can I ask you guys a question from Texas?
Yeah.
Does the fucking Bucky's or regular gas stations there have DEF fluid at the pump with the diesel?
What?
Have what
There's no
fluid?
such thing as DEF
Does
fluid.
no one drive a diesel?
I drive it.
There's no such thing as DEF fluid outside of California, bro.
No, we have a gas station here called Allsups in the new truck centers they're building. We've got DEF fluid that's underground.
you do?
I've got a GMC. Yeah. So
You do?
Okay. Yeah, because all California, or not California, all United States vehicles, I believe, have to have the same emissions for DEF. I believe, because you can't have one state have DEF and the other. Because I know Idaho has DEF. We have DEF.
Are we saying like death here or death like die?
No, DEF fluid. It's a
diesel exhaust fluid.
Federal government regulation. It's a lot of people call it cat piss, and it sprays in the catalytic converter to get rid of the black smoke in trucks. That's all this.
Well, that's no fun. You can't roll that way.
So I thought we would talk about the first piece of news that is not election related, or I'm sorry, not sporting related. Because it's not the election; it's just a sport.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man, do you know who he is? Bernie Marcus.
All I see is Chuck's face. There we go.
Boom, there we go, boys.
Bernie Marcus, rest in
Damn,
peace.
useful.
Bernie Marcus. This man
Invented Home Depot?
invented Home Depot.
Oh shit! That was a shot in the dark. I just saw the fucking orange vest. Holy shit! All right. Anyways. Go,
Bernie Marcus is the co-founder of Home Depot and prolific philanthropist.
All right.
He died at age 95.
God
Damn.
He
that's
was
a long run.
Yeah, he was active in public policy and economic development.
Okay.
He spoke with Philanthropy Magazine.
Mhm.
He kind of was a pioneer of corporate philanthropy in the modern age. And also, like, this guy's philosophy, I watched interviews. He would go to Home Depots and he would hang out outside the Home Depot. And when somebody came out without a bag, he'd be like, "Hey," and they'd be like, "Yeah, how are you, old man?" And he'd be like, "Did you get what you needed?" And they'd say no. And he'd say, "Well, what did you need?" And they'd tell him. And he would go to a competitor. He would buy the thing. He would have it shipped to them at like 15% less than what he paid for it. And then he would make sure the Home Depot carried it from then on out. Like, this guy was legit pioneer of manly men. Like, he said, "You know what? Y'all need a place to go buy shit. I'm going to give you a place to go buy shit." And so
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. When you said he went outside of the Home Depot and hung out, I thought he was out there with my people.
I was thinking hot dog stand guy.
I thought he was over there like, "Dos,
Yeah.
¿Quieres dos? You need two?
Yeah.
You need two?" You know what I'm saying? Like, over there just willing to fucking jump in the car.
none of
and
us can
just
make that
drive
joke.
off.
Only you can make that joke.
I know. That's why I'm here.
That's right. I know.
I'm here for the demographic.
Yes. So, Eric, do you prefer Lowe's or Home Depot?
I prefer Home Depot. Although recently in this new home purchase that we did, Lowe's whooped their ass.
Lowe's is the shit, bro.
Like,
I can't do it. I can't do it.
I think they converted me because they whooped Home Depot's ass, and it was to the point where I'm kind of like the guy that like pits people against each other. I'm like, hey, like, I'm looking at this
Impress me, bitch.
washer and dryer over at Lowe's. Like, can you guys, like, I don't have to have this brand. I just needed to perform these functions. Do you have something that's equal that could do that would make me lean this way? And they're like, "Sorry, we don't have anything, but we could show you this and that." And I'm like, "No, like, you already lost me. When you say no, like, just own it." No, we don't have that. You should probably go, like, I like when people own up. And Lowe's,
for sure.
Lowe's was like, "Hey, this is," because I was looking for a leaf blower, and they were like, "We don't have what you're looking for. You might want to go to Home Depot or to Ace Hardware."
Ace, yeah.
And
Ace is the place, apparently.
yeah, and I did.
I do love Ace.
I see what you did there.
I'm not going to tell you. I have some Ace Hardwares in my area.
Yeah.
Ace is the place. If they have it at Ace, I will shop at Ace.
Yeah, Ace is
Not
my
even gonna
favorite.
lie.
That's my favorite spot. And I say that because I worked at Ace as a young man.
Oh, so you have a
See, guys,
Ace
the
is good
Ace.
'cause you could do gun registration there. You could do transfers.
Oh, that's way.
Well, here in
Ace
Texas,
sell
we
guns.
don't have to worry about your unconstitutional laws. So
I forgot. I'm in California, dude. Sorry,
guys.
my views are different than yours.
The Ace
Or
by
my
me.
world out. It's
The
just it
Aces
sucks,
by
man.
me are completely fucking different. They're bougie as shit. They're like, there's like the hardware section, which is like half of the store with like the traditional old school Ace, and the other half of the store is like fucking like boutique.
it's the
Like,
homeless.
It's a fucking curated boutique. Like, it looks like the center of fucking like the furniture section center of Target. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Got a
This is not
hippie
Ace.
artisanal cheese section and
Bro.
sweetie section.
Oh,
I'm
if you have
going-
a
there's like
$34 cheese
shit
section.
set. There's like shit set up for like the fucking like for the holidays, whatever season it is. There's like whole displays with like tables and I was like, where the fuck am I? And I was like, oh, I'm in Cedar Park. Never mind. That's right. Yeah.
Keep Austin
Have you
weird, I
guys-
guess.
Have you guys tamed the homeless issue? That I mean, it's been years since I've been to Austin.
Right.
But
Okay.
the
So
last time I was there, it was you could not go down the freeway.
Right.
The freeway underneath
Right.
of them.
Yeah, underneath the pass was ridiculous. So they did. So they did. Underneath every overpass in the downtown area, there were homeless encampments, which, like, honestly would rival shit that you see like in Mexico.
Skid Row.
You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, Skid Row was like a ghetto. These guys had the shit pimped out. There was like layers going. You know how like there's like the slants
They were going
up.
to Ace Hardware.
Bro, they were going to like, and you know what? They're going to fucking Lowe's, because I'll tell you what. If you ask me like between Lowe's and Home Depot, I'm a Home Depot guy. I believe Lowe's insist upon themselves. It's too clean in there. I don't feel like I'm getting shit done in there, and they don't have the theme music. You know what I'm saying? That dun, 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 dun. You know, I'm not playing that in my fucking head, and I'm not committing to three.
What does that sound like again?
Okay. And I'm over here like, yeah. Do I need a 2x4 or need a 4x4? All right. And it's gonna be 3 trips minimum. 3 trips minimum for whatever home project you're doing. If you're not doing that, you're not doing it right. Anyways.
Well,
so yeah, they actually cleaned all that shit up. Where they went, that's questionable,
bro. So I'm a Lowe's dude because I live in California. It fucking sucks. Okay, so this is only California view. Lowe's gives military discount, has veteran parking, has all this cool shit and amenities, and yeah, they give it 10% off, which only cuts down my taxes on sales tax. Great. Home Depot for the longest time would not honor the veteran discount. They hated vets, and I was like, well, you're not getting my service. And then finally, one of the last times I was there, because I had to get a freaking one of those air filters, because I have a weird house and has a different air filter on the top floor than the bottom floor, and it's obscure, and I have to go to Home Depot. So I went to Home Depot, and I was like, all right, let me give it another shot. You guys do the veteran stuff here? And they're like, yeah, we do. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I started coming around more, but honestly, from that whole incident, Lowe's has got me more than Home Depot, but Home Depot definitely has some killer deals, and they have some obscure things that other places just don't carry.
Well, see, Chuck, I'm not sure if you were aware, but Home Depot has if your top floor is different than your bottom floor, fuck you veterans policy. It is little known, but
Okay. Fuck your service.
I mean, that's how it felt going in there. They're like, fuck you. And I was like, cool.
Right.
I just want to leave all this shit at the counter.
That Banning and I can both talk shit about the military, because
everybody here talks shit about the military, and
I do not. I can talk.
Fuzzy,
I can talk beaner speak.
Yes, Fuzzy talks shit about
my own people, which is fine. I have the right to do that.
You have to explain to Eric and Banning how you got here, though, so they understand truly
about Bebe.
Yes.
I don't know about. Well, see, I'm South American. I'm not Mexican, right? So I was born in South America.
Okay.
So literally, yeah. I didn't come up.
Mark was born in Venezuela.
Yeah, so I didn't come up to the States until I was 12.
Oh, shit, you made it, bro.
What's up?
Said you made it.
I mean, on the back of a sea turtle, yeah.
He's a shellback.
You got to be
explaining me.
It was a long travel, man. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
Benny's like, what the fuck did I get myself into?
I'm too pretty for those planes down there. It's too hot, you know.
Right.
I was I got here. I was like,
gangs down there taking over apartment complexes, eating people's dogs.
I know.
Hey, listen, we're not here to fuck around.
We're talking about Ohio.
People's dogs.
What's going on, dude?
According to FoxNews.com, the score is red team 232, blue team 216, according to my sources.
Can I shift this conversation in one direction real quick?
Can you shit this?
Wait, yeah, and you said shit in one direction, like band one direction.
Is that a band?
That's my new single, "Shit in One Direction." It's a new boys band. It's what happens when you eat a fucking chicken Big Mac.
Coachella this year. It's new.
Chuck,
single,
yeah, absolutely.
Direction.
Chuck just got, for our listeners, Chuck just got signed. He will be opening the side stage, not the main stage. He's not there yet.
Yes,
at Coachella next year.
Rumor is Taylor Swift is covering "Shit in One Direction" on her next album.
I like it.
Hey,
listen,
subscribe, like, share. You know what I'm saying? Like Chuck's music. Got to support, guys.
I think we got a t-shirt idea.
First single.
If anything,
huh?
I think we got a t-shirt idea. If anything,
100%. I will buy one.
I would buy a "Shit in One Direction" shirt.
Shit in One Direction.
100%, dude.
And on the
Our
back
single
is in the other.
I'm sorry. I got a
First
visual
thing-
for the shirt, for the single shirt. I'm sorry. I'm just, that's
Visual guy. Yeah.
Dude,
You know what?
our single is Chicken Big Mac, fuck your toilet.
I think
what?
I think we
sorry.
need to go to Austin, all of us, and get shit in One Direction tattoos.
Oh man,
I'm in.
I'm
in
in for it.
I'm
We
down.
will fly to Austin just to get a shit in One Direction tattoo.
Hey,
Eric,
these
are
guys
you in?
just met me. They
I'm
don't
in.
know that I am fucking down. I am down for
Marco
the
will
mistake.
tattoo
So like,
this
oh
shit for
fuck yeah!
free.
Like, when people are like, I'm thinking about getting this, I jump on that shit quick.
Marco,
dog.
tell
Dude,
them.
I'm
about-
like, yeah, let's
What?
fucking do that, dog. Let's do.
I'll bring
I'm
my
here for
podcast
lifelong mistakes.
equipment down. We'll
Okay,
do that
hold on.
shit live.
Eric, you don't understand.
Ooh.
Marco, please tell them about your penis's formal wear.
Oh,
Wow, we're just gonna out me like that?
We're
Okay,
just
listen.
gonna
So,
go that way.
so yeah, a long time ago, I thought I had a great idea of tattooing my own penis, which I did.
prove it.
This went in an awkward direction.
I'm not gonna fucking like. I
Prove it.
can get my wife to come down here and tell you all about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
but like,
no, no.
I'm
No, he
not
has
gonna
to
whip.
tell us.
I want to see it.
I mean, Thomas is here telling you this thing exists. Anyways,
I-
but if you want a picture of it, I'll send you a
No,
picture.
no,
of
no,
it.
I
Yeah.
want
his new single is awkward
Look.
erection.
Live
It's
on
not-
air
guys,
right now.
It's not awkward because I'll tell you what it is. I have a bow tie tattooed on the bottom part of my penis. Why you ask? Because he's formal, but he's here to party.
I like it.
Banny's
I
like,
like
I can't put this on my LinkedIn. I'm fucked.
So we talked about the
have lost
election
all
and
respect.
the erection.
There
So,
is nothing. I told you this is
Nothing
current
sacred here.
events, and the shit is going to hit the fan. So let me shift gears to a current event.
To
You guys
anything
watch
else?
tennis? Athletes?
Tennis?
Male, male, female athletes, right? So
No,
the big
no,
in
we
the
don't watch
election
tennis
this
because we're all
year.
men here. So,
All right, I'm married to a woman who watches tennis, so I watch tennis.
okay.
I like
But-
watching
okay.
female penis
Eric, you watch it?
for like 3 minutes.
Eric watches this for the sounds that they make. You know what I'm saying? For the
For about 3 minutes,
He's
about
like,
as long as I make it.
yeah. He's
All right,
like,
so,
yeah.
I watch for Brazil's volleyball team.
They'll kill you,
yeah.
dog.
What?
They'll behead you.
For
Volleyball.
Brazil's volleyball.
Beach
team.
All right. So what do we
The,
got here?
the female volleyball.
Okay,
Let's just
so
Reporter.
this is a tennis champion, and the reporter says to him, "What do you think about women earning less than men in tennis?" And his reply is,
It's gonna be good.
yeah, his reply is, "I don't know. Why don't women earn more than men in the fashion, or why do women earn more than men in the fashion world?" And so this
Mhm.
goes to the common thread, especially in this election cycle, that men don't earn the same as women. Women don't earn the same as men. Men get overpaid. We've talked about this on the show.
Yeah.
Female porn stars earn a lot more than male porn stars.
Well, yeah. I mean, watching
I agree with
titties,
that.
what watching titties jiggle is better than watching balls bouncing. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Unless there's a bow tie.
He does have a point.
He does have a point.
So I bring that up in the sense that now we go to Elon Musk in the election cycle was talking about income disparity. And so I want to throw this out to you guys because it's a current event.
Okay.
They were this was in response to people talking about income inequality, and Elon Musk, who admittedly I have not decided if Elon Musk is Tony Stark or Lex Luthor, right?
Oh, he's Tony Stark.
I think he's both.
He's Tony Stark for sure.
I kind of feel like he's
100%.
Tony Stark. I do kind of feel like he's Tony Stark. I have yet to see Lex Luthor like tendencies, but at the same time, 100%, I'm willing to listen to ideology that a rich person trying to influence public opinion is a Lex Luthor. But so far, I see, Eric, I'm with you, Tony Stark tendencies.
Yeah.
So,
He impulsively bought Twitter. I mean,
yes, right. Like, he's like, fuck it.
Lex
Twitter needs to
Luthor
be
is
bought.
measured and ominous and evil. Like to me,
Okay. Yeah.
I just don't see Elon as fly by the cuff. Like that is it's
I
Tony.
get that.
Okay.
Tony, you
Yeah,
gotta,
I get that.
you know, you
He's
got
right.
this
For sure.
speech that you have to give in front of, you know, this news conference, and they're like,
Mhm.
just
Right.
chill a little bit. And he's like, yeah. And then he's like, fuck it, I'm Iron Man. Like that is Elon. Elon, like,
Yes,
don't give a
exactly.
fuck.
I'm gonna throw out
Elon
a caveat
tweeted
though.
or X'd or whatever you fucking call it since he bought it. It's still
Twitter. It's
and
Twitter.
Twitter sucks, whatever. But we don't use it, but other people do, so we talk about it. Elon said, "Why does no one complain about this?" And then he posted something from an account that says "End Wokeness." Cable installer, 95% men. Road builders, 96% men. Construction, 94% men. Garbage men, 95% men.
Well, that's in the
Iron
name.
workers,
He left out the most important one. Pipe
Which is-
layers, 100% men.
Oh my
Oh
god!
Yes.
I'm like,
You
unless
win.
you're in San Francisco. I'm just saying. Anyways,
No, that still in San Francisco, pipe layers are still 100%.
100% men.
Yeah, they're still giving it, dude.
In
All
San
right.
Francisco, they are 200%
Right.
men.
Now there's artificial pipe laying. Okay. There's artificial pipe laying, and that
So,
happens with some really
artificial
scary
men.
women.
But
Yep.
and iron workers are 94% men. Now, this was the response, right? He said, "Why does no one complain about this?" And the response was from Kat Kanata, and she says, "Because
Ooh.
feminists aren't interested in equality, they don't want to roughneck blue collar positions because blue collar positions don't come with influence. They want positions of power. They're using the victim narrative to get them." And I thought this would be interesting to discuss because is there a reason why the high earning blue collar positions that require quote unquote man strength, quote unquote, like what they're talking about, some of those positions you're talking about, cable installer, road builder, construction, garbage man, iron worker,
Right.
those are good paying jobs. And as we're talking about the wage gap, why are those jobs at a minimum 94% men? And this woman, her response is because feminists aren't interested in equality. They don't want the roughneck blue collar jobs. They want the jobs that come with influence. Is that something we think is accurate, we feel is accurate, or do you have, because I've worked with some female cops, they will fuck a motherfucker up. They will beat somebody's ass. They are blue collar to the core.
Sure.
I'm going to take the lead on this one. I think that this is an Instagram OnlyFans society of men who think that I'm going to take devil's advocate here right off the bat. It's a culture of females only want the spotlight with Instagram and OnlyFans to make themselves feel special because they don't feel pretty or whatever. But I don't think that that's necessarily the case. I just think that they are in different roles. I think women at their heart are caregivers, and they're very emotional, and they're better at taking care of people and things like that. So I think a lot of the hard jobs like that are more of the nuclear factor of, well, men should be doing that and I should be doing something else. And I kind of agree with it because it's tough labor, but there are some badass women out there that are fucking welders, they're contractors, they're foremans, they run contract companies, they run oil companies. It is a select few because men take on that nasty fucking role, that dirty job, as Mike Rowe would often showcase. So I think that it's not necessarily for notoriety. I just think it's a different field that they want to be in.
Eric and
That makes sense.
Banning, you guys are new to the show, so I'm not going to put you in hot water, but I will say you guys have both worked with female cops.
Mhm.
If you're like me, I've worked with male cops who I pray to God don't ever show up on a call with me. And I work with female cops where I'm like, yeah, I'm not worried. If they show up, it's fine. But at the same time, is there an element where we believe or we think that when we talk about wage gaps, we talk about gender gaps, we talk about pay, do women shy away from, or do we feel like men are more willing to? I don't want to categorize it one way or the other. Maybe it is that men are more willing to take on those sleeves rolled up, heavy duty positions, and they pay well.
So what's your question?
No, go ahead. Somebody talk.
I wasn't. It sounded like you were setting up a question, and I wasn't. You didn't ask.
I that's what I'm saying. Is like, are you thinking that, you got women that don't want to necessarily get into, or the premise is that men are more willing to get into these well-paying, physically demanding jobs?
Do you think it's still kind of throwback to, or do you guys think it's like a throwback to the gender role? You know what I'm saying? It's like men are used to doing this kind of thing, even though like nobody wants to talk about gender roles, especially feminists want to say the gender roles shouldn't exist anymore.
Right.
But would we say comfortably that this is a form of gender roles within a within a work scope?
Right.
The only thing, not to interrupt, the only thing that I can speak on is the 20 plus years in law enforcement. I've worked with men and women, and unfortunately, and take it however you will, I've had just as many men that don't need to be in that role, watching things go on,
100%,
as opposed to women. And it didn't really matter the physicalness. I think it's in the brain and in the heart. Are they going to bring 100% of their A game when the shit hits the fan? So I have seen, unfortunately, being a training officer, and some people not making it through training, that there is no business for, doesn't matter male or female, their heart's got to be in it. And if they need bigger, robust muscles to do something, they're going to go get that. They're going to go apply themselves in the gym. If they need to learn how to fight better, they're going to go offline away from their department if the department's not providing it for them to accomplish that role. And then you have people in the middle, men and women, that don't give a shit, and they're going to go out there and get somebody, including themselves and the general public, hurt. So with me being at several different agencies, I've seen it on both sides of the fence, and I can't sit here and say that one's better than the other because I've seen it on both sides.
And I don't think we're asking about better than the other, but one of the things we talked about on the show way early on is we talked to a bunch of veterans about the idea of gays in the military, and they said, I don't care who you fuck, I care how you fight, right? And I think that carries over to, I've worked with so many cops. I did not consider your gender. I considered how you backed me up.
Yeah. Like MLK said, content of your character.
Well, right. And so when I look at this stuff where it says like the percentages of, it's 94% men, 95% men, 96% men, my question becomes, why do we have such a discrepancy? And I wonder, because you and I, everybody here except Marco, has dealt with women who are willing to put themselves in the gap. These are women who are willing to put themselves at risk, right? We have dealt with those coworkers. We don't have the same perspective as maybe somebody who works in construction or whatever, and a girl says, so why is it that it's 94%, 95%, 96% male dominated in those fields, and yet we get into this area where people say, well, women can do those jobs, and you go, but why don't they want to? And then culture. This supposition is because they, and this is why I guess I'm kind of asking, is because the supposition is because they only want jobs that hold power and influence. Do you agree with that premise that women don't want hardworking jobs because those hardworking jobs hold no power and influence? Or do we feel like there are plenty of women that are willing to hold those jobs that have hard work with no influence? There's just less women that are wired that way.
I think it's more about being wired. I think
Yeah.
it's the culture and the being wired.
Right.
I mean, there's not a lot of male nurses.
Mm-hmm.
And it,
Right,
I don't think that has,
Yeah.
No,
I don't
there's
think it
not.
has anything to do with, male, female necessarily, that they can't do it or they can do it. It's just the
Sure.
way that they're wired. Women tend to be more nurturing,
Correct.
but that doesn't mean all.
Right.
And
Yeah,
that's
right,
why-
right, right.
That's why when people ask me about women in law enforcement, I'm like, what if they got to drag out a 230-pound man, or what if they got to back you up in a fight? I'm like, you're asking me to basically deny a female for the 1% chance of the job. Because how often I've been in law enforcement 18 years, you know how many knockdown dragouts I've been in? Less than a handful. So, you want me to base the 99% of the calls that actually just involve talking, which women excel at, in my opinion. I would rather
They're a lot better at that.
Yeah, I would rather. Judge me how you will. I prefer to have a female partner when I'm out in the streets because we complement each other.
Absolutely.
I can't bring the physicality. I'm a talker too, so I won't act like I can't talk. But if her words aren't working, then maybe my words will work, but vice versa.
But let me counter this. I did work with a female cop, and bless her soul, I will not repeat the nickname she was blessed with by the kids at the high school that she worked at when she was a school resource officer. But I will tell you that when she showed up on my calls, I had to tell her, settle down, back off, because her demeanor and her way of handling the call jacked people up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that had nothing. I don't know that had anything to do with gender. It had to do with personality, because I had just as many male officers that showed up on a call. And I said, you know what? Shut up and just go over there, because you're not making things.
I'll cancel them. I'll say I'm good.
Oh my God! Yes.
I'll cancel them from the call. I've done it.
Yeah.
And they'll know.
I worked
Wait,
with
how does
a
that work?
female officer.
Hold on, back up.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
See,
Eric,
this is why we have a civilian.
Yeah,
go
this is hi civilian. So Eric, going back to what you just said, when you said cancel them from a call.
Yep.
Please, how do you cancel somebody from a call? And I don't mean in a social media fuck this person, get this shut down,
go.
sort of way.
So
Eric and
basically,
Manny. Go ahead.
I'll get a call, and they'll be like, you got a domestic over here, whatever, at this address. Okay, Levine at your sheet. Cool. I'm en route. Start heading there. All right. Anybody to 63, which is backup. Anybody to back him up, and then you'll hear, the dude that gets everybody ramped up on the scene. You'll hear them. Hey, we're sending Banning with you, or whatever. Banning, head that way with them. I'll be like, you can 45 that unit, meaning cancel them. I will advise, meaning let me get there and see what it is. It may not be anything. There's certain calls that you're not technically allowed to cancel anybody, domestics being one of those. But when you say that over the air, the message is sent loud and clear. Like, I don't want you on my fucking call.
Okay.
Dude, that was my
Passive aggressive way in law enforcement of letting that guy know I don't fucking trust you and I don't want you here.
And that's based.
Fuzzy,
And that's based on. Hold on a second. And that's based on you were assigned that call.
Yeah. So when you call it being the sheet officer, it is my call.
Got it.
You can't fuck with it because it's mine. So
So it has nothing to do with rank. Has nothing to do with seniority at that point.
No.
You were assigned that call. You are the point man. You're the lead. See what I did there? Point man. See?
Yeah.
You're the point man to that call. So therefore, you are governing what assistance or backup or anything else that you feel that you need. Yep. And if it's someone that you know that is good at escalating and not de-escalating, obviously you're going to 45, right? Is that 45?
45, yeah, we'll say 45.
Yeah, I'm learning.
This is the draw to me personally. This is a personal draw to law enforcement is even at the lowest level, lowest rank as an officer, you're still your own boss in a way. because at the end of the day, you're the one that has to go to court and testify. This was my call. This is how I wanted it to go. This is da, 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 da.
You own it.
You own that call, and that is the cool part about law enforcement.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And going back to what Eric said, he would rather have some female officer. He'd rather have a female partner because it complements him. I used to love working with this one female officer. Her name was Haro, and not giving my agency away because only she knows. And if she ever listens, she'll get it. But she was a fucking hard officer. She was a great officer, but when we would come up on a call in a domestic with a gangster and with known gang location, I'm like, hey, you're going up first. Talk to him, because it lowers his guard. It allows him to calm down because he sees a female and he's like, okay, cool, I can talk to you. And he starts talking, and it allows me to get in a position of advantage, and it allows me to be able to set the scene and to get scene safety and things like that, because that's how he worked. I told her, I was like, I'm never going to let you get hurt. I'm going to protect you to my fullest, and I'm going to fucking die doing it. I promise you that. I will never let someone hit you. And if they hit you, they're mine. I promise you. And I'm a shorter guy. I'm 5'8", but I hit like a fucking brick shit house. Like if we're gonna brawl, we're gonna fucking brawl. But I used to love working with this female cop because one, she was nice, she smelled good, okay, and she could handle her fucking own, and she would de-escalate situations far beyond what my regular beat partner would. My beat partner was a corn-fed white boy, and he would be the blunt officer. He'd be like, cancel that unit, they're not coming.
Standing straight there, man.
Oh,
corn-fed white boy.
He's a Missouri boy, dude. I'm telling you, he's a different breed. But I love that dude. He's my boy. But I used to love female officers. They just complement the male officers, because if you know your shit and you're comfortable with your abilities, having a female officer actually sets you up for an advantage. And I don't think that there's females. I mean, there are females out there looking for notoriety. They're looking for whatever, but the mass majority of the ones I worked with weren't looking out for the likes or the follows or whatever when they were working, right? They were just looking to do the fucking job and get it done.
Hey, Chuck and Eric, quick question for you. You guys are talking about complimenting, the female officer complimenting you guys, right? Are we talking about those stunning, sexy blue outfits and how it contrasts against your skin tone when you guys are rolling, saying code 3 with the license sirens? You guys are stepping out like, oh yeah, I'm complimented. That's what I'm talking about. I'm here to
complimenting so hard right now.
That's what I'm saying. I'm here to serve and protect bitches. Yeah.
That is not what I'm referring to.
Okay.
No.
Just checking.
Have any of you guys ever had $1 bills slipped into your belts? You're Sam Brown?
Okay, wait a minute. Go ahead. I'm curious about this because I have a story.
I didn't have a dollar bill, but I did have a gay man brush my eyebrow and tell me how beautiful my eyebrow. And if anybody who's listening, my eyebrows are like Tom Selleck. They're big bushy eyebrows.
You do have good eyebrows.
And I was talking to a citizen that was asking me a question, and this dude
has like this
straight up rubbed my eyebrow from the other side, and I just kind of froze. I just sat back like this. I was like,
"What just happened?"
This kind of because how do you get offended?
You can't get mad.
Thanks, bro.
And now he's complimenting me,
right?
And I've always had a complex about my eyebrows because they're big and bushy. And I was like,
dude, at least yours are big and bushy. Mine look like a fucking cancer patient.
Look, he could have gone the complete wrong sassy gay man way and be like, bitch, you look like you got two caterpillars squaring off for a death match. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It could have gone completely the opposite way.
He didn't. He went with the compliment. And at first I was kind of like,
strong. Did you blush? But did you blush? Yeah, you did. You're like,
I was like, thank you.
What about you, Banning? Have you had anybody, man or woman alike, come up to you and try to brush your eyebrows back?
Story here. I'm
looking. I've rubbed his beard.
Got a story.
I've been to so many calls like we all have, and I remember this one. I had a rookie with me when I was down in the we call it the Metroplex, Dallas-Fort Worth area at that agency, and we got called to a loud party, and it was of course everybody thinks it's after 10 o'clock, people got to turn it down, whatever. And So if it's disturbing somebody, we're going to go out and talk to them. So we went up and knocked on the door, and I'm trying to let this kid, this new officer, do the talking. And he looked like he was 16 years old. I mean, but he was just a young looking kid. He's now on his own. He's out of his ghost phase. He's probably been on the street for a couple months. And we knock on the door, and then two females open the door, and the music's going in the background, just like what he was doing a second ago, that dance music. And they truly, in their drunk minds, thought we were paid dancers coming.
Hell yeah.
To
Whoa,
do
whoa.
Coming?
There's a weird pause.
Yeah. And to watch my partner's face go from pale to extreme red, he completely lost. He couldn't speak. This was his first interaction like that. So obviously, I think we ended up even, unfortunately, having to hook one of them later that night for coming out in public.
I'm telling you.
When you say you hooked them,
I'm telling you, us big sexy dudes, okay? Us bigger sexy dudes.
You mean wide? In your case, it's a wide, sexy dude.
I mean, I'm pretty fucking. Even
he's
being
pretty stout.
broken,
He's stout.
I'm
He's
pretty
stout
fucking
guy.
stacked.
He's
Fuzzy is
Pretty
tall.
stacked. I mean,
I am a large
I
man.
digressed. I fucking Banning. I had a similar fucking call, dude. I rolled up with a female officer. We rolled up to a fucking party, and they started trying to throw $1 bills in my belt. And then I rolled up to another party with a brand new boot, brand new. Like I think he had like 7 months.
But how much money did you make? But how much money did you make though?
Not, I gave it all back. But we rolled up to another party, and it was in a very affluent part of town, like fucking multi-million-dollar homes. Like fucking Bieber lived back there. Fucking Selena Gomez was their neighbor. It was like fucking crazy. Lots of high-end celebs. So we respond to a call out there, and I have this boot 6-7 months out of the academy, and so he's rolling me for a senior officer, and we go up to this call. And lady answers the door, and it's a Halloween party because that's when all your 415 parties come out, right? And this is a nice part of town, so they're gonna call for everything. So we get there, and it's this nice lady, and she brings us inside. And she's talking to us, and it's like 30 fucking women. All the men are asleep except for the host. He's the only one awake, and he's just having a good time, but he's blasted. And so we have to deal with all these females. And next thing I know, they're coming up in front of us and they're flipping up their skirts. They're trying to throw back on us. And I'm like, hey, back up, whatever. My partner's white in the corner. And I'm like, hey, bro, this is community policing. Relax, calm down. We're not going to do anything inappropriate. We have to keep them at bay. They're drunk, but they're inside their own home. There's nothing we can do. And this girl keeps trying to throw back. I'm like, back up. And they're like, hey, can we take a photo? I'm like, yes, just keep the music down because that's the only reason why we're here. And the chick comes up to us and she's like, oh, my husband's CHP, he's passed out in the back. I'm like, you did more red flags. Thank you so much. You could keep it down, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna impound every fucking piece of radio equipment, any type of electrical equipment. And she ends up, we're going to take the photo, and she just straight up moons me and my partner and tries to throw it back on us. And you see me in the photo like this, trying to just push away from her. And he's like freaking out, just white as a ghost. Like, I'm going to lose my job. I'm like, dude, we're not going to lose the job. Like, calm down.
You may lose your virginity acting like that.
We're doing the right thing. We're not letting anything explicit happen. Can't control. Exactly. Can't control the fucking females that are beyond blitzed, and they're all nice women, they're all good. And I was like, let's just leave it at that and just tell them to shut the party down. They did. But the funny thing is bring with that brand new officer, they're just like, oh my god, they immediately go to that worst case scenario because they're at will and they can get fired. And we're just like, I'm gonna let it ride because
similar to what happened to me. I went to a party call and I knocked on the door, hello, and they opened the door. And it was a bunch of 40-something women in various states of intoxication.
Mom's night out.
Yeah. This was 100%. This was a YouPorn video waiting to happen.
Okay. All right.
And I knock on the door and they open, and there's probably, I shit you not, 20-something plus women in various states of intoxication. And the minimum age was 46. And I said, Ma'am, I'm here about the noise complaint. And they're like, I bet you are.
That's what we call a cougar den.
Damn.
And I said, no, ma'am. I'm your neighbor's call. Yeah. And they pulled me in the house and I said, you need to stop. I'm only here about the noise complaint. I'm just asking you to turn it down. And there was a moment where I'm going through the motions and talking. And then I saw one woman have this realization come across her face as she scanned my uniform and realized I was not fucking around.
I thought you were going to say that's my nephew.
And she realized that I was not a stripper and there was going to be no ghetto blaster coming out from behind my back. And I was going to most of the women there thought I was there to strip. And it took at least 5 minutes of one. And I was like, no, I'm sorry. And I was trying to find the homeowner. And finally I was like, ma'am, you need to turn it down. And she was like, oh my God, you're not kidding. And I'm like, no, I'm not kidding. It was the weirdest moment of my career where a bunch of 40-something-year-old women had no respect for my authority because they thought I was going to take my uniform off.
Now, in all fairness, did you come and say, if you don't turn this down, I'm gonna have to beat you down with my billy club? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, none of that happened. I just knocked on the door and I said, hey, excuse me. Eric, have you ever been mistaken for a stripper in uniform?
No. I feel kind of left out. I've never, gone to parties, gone to that. I've had people joke like, "Oh, are you the stripper?" And I like, no. If I am, you should probably get a refund. Yeah, especially in my stinky uniform. But no, I just it hasn't happened to me. I've heard of it. I've heard of other people having similar experiences. Just I usually work the hood, so it never
That's
happens.
the best part. That's the best stuff right there.
So being that we're about out of time, and Banning and Eric have been so kind to join us, I thought we would give them the full taste of some of the things we discussed towards the end of our show.
I thought he was gonna say the full Monty. I'm like, we just talked about this.
Yeah.
We did.
We're not doing that.
So we're gonna. Well, first of all, I wanted to give them a chance to weigh in on serious issues that, as we get to the end, Eric and Banning, as we get to the end of our shows, we scour the internet for problems.
We do.
Or things that people post, or questions, moral conundrums. That people ask, sometimes couched under the perspective of, am I the asshole? And or I want to explain to you about how the police, the firefighters, the medics had to come to my house. And so I thought I would share this story that we scoured the internet. And this is from an ER nurse.
Okay, I already like it.
Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about.
This will be good.
All right. So I wanted to share this story because I don't even know that I'm not going to share the title. I'm just going to get right into it.
Just get into it. Just dive in. Just dive in.
Just whip it out.
Yeah, whip it out. So I'm an ER nurse, and I once had a 450 to 500 pound female patient who had a bunch of abrasions on her abdominal panus. Panus? I don't know how you say it. She was in the ER for something else. She had abrasions on her abdominal, PANNUS, panus. Panus. Okay. She was in the ER for something else. I asked her about the abrasions, and she nonchalantly answered, "Oh, that's from the fuck stick."
What fuck stick?
Man, he's like, oh my
actual
God,
stick, dildo. I mean, what are we talking about?
My wife
well,
calls
I'm
me
gonna
that,
explain.
so we'll see.
The
Fucking
quote
broom?
is, she nonchalantly answered, "Oh, that's from the fuck stick." End quote.
Is it Diddy party?
So the yeah, right. So the ER nurse responded, "You're what?"
Oh shit! It's hanging belly fat. That's the panus.
Yeah,
It's the
Marco,
flappy
look
flap.
this shit up.
I did. It's the
Dude,
it's
it's
the
a
fucking
fupa,
flap.
He
dude.
says,
The
quote,
flappy flap. Okay, go
the
ahead.
woman says, quote, "The fuck stick. I'm trying to get pregnant, and our neighbors hold up my stomach with a wooden plank
Oh god.
so my husband can get in there." So her next door neighbor stands on either side, pushing a 2x4 piece of lumber to hoist her large belly up and out of the way while her husband has sex with her.
Is this my
Working as an
600-pound
ER
wife?
nurse for years has given me a lot of answers in life.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
I mean,
Good neighbors.
This sounds like a TLC documentary.
Good neighbor right there.
More like a PBS after school special.
Hey,
By the way,
There's your fucking neighbor?
neighbor. The two
yeah,
neighbors.
That was your
the-
neighbor?
no.
No,
The
both
neighbors
neighbor-
come over for the assist.
with the 2x4, with the
Yeah.
assist.
Oh, I thought
They
that
got a
was
2x4.
I thought that was your
And
neighbor.
hold on a second. Let's break this down. A fucking 2x4, like hacksaw Jim Duggan style. You know what I'm saying? He's got this
Right.
fucking long ass 2x4. Both two people on both sides holding the fucking gut up.
making the A-frame.
Yes.
Holy
Yeah.
shit!
Benny's gonna lose his shit.
Oh my
I'm
god!
sorry. That's
Yeah.
So what happened?
fetish stuff.
What
That's
happens when
weird.
there's motion to the ocean? You know what I'm saying? Where there's like the back and forth, you have to like
That's where the abrasion comes in, I'm guessing.
just rubbing back raw.
I just
from
want to know what
fucking
the smell is
2x4.
when you lift that fupa flipper.
Oh, fupa flipper. I like that. I think you've just coined a phrase.
Yeah.
I think Fupa Flipper will be the
Fupa
second. That'll be the second single. Of
Fupa
There you
Chuck's,
go.
flipper is playing the side stage
Shit
at
in the wind.
Coachella this
Was
year.
that what we said?
What
did
and he's like, oh my god, I'm never gonna
Shit
recover.
One
from this."
Direction.
One
One
erection in the
Do you
fupa
want us to
flipper.
edit you out of this episode?
Jesus, Criminy.
Uh,
Oh my gosh.
Shit in One Direction and the fupa flipper.
But this is the stuff, and this is why I bring it up.
In One Direction. That's right. That's what it was.
These are the things that nobody deals with in the real world, right? But when you get into the medical, fire, veteran, law enforcement world, we laugh about it in that dark humor perspective because this is Thursday, right? Like, we're not surprised that people ask these questions or tell these stories. This literally happens on a regular basis. I mean, Eric, this is not the first time you've heard a story like this.
No, not at all.
no.
No.
And you guys are like, oh my God, I can't believe we're talking about this. But this just happens.
Yeah, I mean, I've had to arrive at a domestic where they were all dressed in leather gear. And
All of them?
all of them. And the thing that was the problem was one was an imposter and it wasn't who they all agreed upon.
Oh my
So-
God, wait. They did not all agree on who was not supposed to. You played fucking Bondage, Where's Waldo?
Pretty much. Yeah. So I get there, this big fight out in the front yard. And what they did was this one friend of theirs had been wanting to play in this little leather bondage bullshit that they're doing. There's like 6 of them. Well, only one of them knew about this little switcheroo that this guy did. All the rest of them assumed, because he was a similar build and height and all of that, that it was the person they all thought it was. And then apparently when he started to moaning and groaning, it didn't sound the right way.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and they figured out it was an imposter, and they're like, "Who the fuck is this?"
That's a ghost dick.
I'm just thinking to myself. I have this visual of him arriving on scene, and there's just fucking like Gimp brawl happening. Gimp battle royale happening outside. It's like like gothic luchadors. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I have like in my mind. It's like,
You're not too
all
far
black,
off.
like all black gothic luchadors fucking just scrapping.
It was mostly there was like two mediators that were trying to keep them back from
Mhm.
each other.
Mhm.
And as I got there, I'm a pretty relaxed guy. Like I think all the years of BJJ and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, for those who don't know.
Yeah, you need to clarify.
I added an extra J, so you knew I wasn't talking about thick crap. But yeah, all the years of doing that, like I just have a pretty chill attitude about everything. So I sat back, I was like, what the
No,
fuck? You know, I'm
no,
just
here-
laughing.
Now
I'm
here's a real.
them.
Hey, now, Eric, here's a question for you. Were you like, okay, can somebody tell me what's going on? And someone was like, zzz, unzip their mouth first and then answer the question.
No, actually, I'll tell you what I honestly did is I just stood there because they called. It was somebody from their group that called.
Okay.
So I arrived, I walk up, I know they seen me, and I just stood there. I there's no need for me to talk. So I just stood there and watched them sit there and bicker and argue and, you know, act like they want to fight but not fight. And so I was just like,
Bro,
what?
if I was your partner, I'd be yelling random safety words from the sideline. Rutabaga, pineapple,
Connecticut.
It's like, Alabama.
This reminds me of an old movie called Armed and Dangerous with John Candy and
John Candy.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
when
good
they
movie.
get dressed. That's all I can think about. It
Nice
is
pull.
that scene when they're walking away from that
100%.
bookstore.
But I did.
Can I ask you?
Stood there and
Can I
stayed
ask-
quiet.
Can I ask you a question, Eric?
You
What's
just
your
did.
phone number?
Stick to the floor.
It's like, can I get the address to this call?
No, we had a spot called the Silver Spoon in our area, and we would walk inside, and it was a known location for like orgies, glory holes, shit like that. But every once in a while, someone would call because they got abused or battered or.
And Chuck was
whatever.
always mad because they'd be gone when he got there.
Bro,
They would always
hey,
stick
Thomas.
around.
Thomas,
And the
I got
floor-
the fucking Blue Oyster
Dude.
music right now. Like Chuck's walking in.
God, why don't I have that on fucking cue?
Okay, Chuck, so you're walking in.
Go ahead, Chuck. Sorry.
So you're walking into this place, and it's like
Oh,
your
oh.
boots are sticking to the floor,
I leave.
and suspect. No, you can't. Call for
fuck
service.
you. I've done it.
Not a supervisor, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't give a
yelled
fuck.
at.
I don't give a fuck.
Wish
If
I
it-
could.
If it is
Yeah,
a gross
gross.
safety hazard, unless somebody is actively getting fucked up, like nope. You want to talk to me? I'll be out here in the front yard.
When you say actively getting fucked up,
Violence.
Oh,
These
man.
these are the
That-
civilian questions, Eric, and
Yeah, violence. If they got to be, it's got to be like they're.
When-
And I don't mean they're fighting each other. I don't
Right.
give a
They're
shit if
getting
they fight.
pounded.
like
But,
German
no.
man love violence.
Well, Chuck and I, we have different definitions of pounded. Apparently, I don't use that word.
he was a Marine. We talked about
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, field fuck. all that
We're a
good stuff.
department
All
of
that.
the Navy, so I mean, it is what
Yeah.
it is.
No,
We just
but
like
for
Frank.
me,
I know the
like,
men's department. You tell us all
Yeah.
the time.
like I have, like I said, like I don't even mind mutual combat if they're both fighting each other and they're both standing and one person's not on the ground, like
Mhm.
being a victim. Like
Mhm.
I let it go. Like I'm not
Oh,
getting
God,
into
yes.
that.
God, yes.
But do
I
you
love
bet?
that.
But do you bet though?
Well, I mean,
I
not
what?
publicly.
Do you bet? Do you like look at them like look at your partner and be like, hey, I got the big one on the left. I got $5 on that motherfucker. That's I get fired.
bet.
Publicly.
Bet. Oh, I thought you said bat. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah,
I
I
don't-
was- I didn't know where that was going for a second.
yeah,
No, we don't do Rodney King.
yeah, no betting. Betting on that. No, I just sometimes I may
Not a-
jokingly say like, yeah, I think the blonde one's got this or something.
Right.
Whatever.
You can't help but look at the two people fighting and place odds in your head.
Yeah. Like I'll even like joke around and on body camera, you'll hear me say like, man, that guy's really serious right now. Look at him go. Like, he's really going at it.
He's big man. He's big
Eric
right
likes
now.
to narrate.
Big emotions.
narrate
Man
body
right now,
camera.
yeah. But
So as we're over time, but as we close out tonight, because just by the way, the score for anybody wondering, the game that we've been watching tonight. The score is 248 red team, 216 blue team.
Okay.
So that's where
Mine's
we're at.
different.
And I just had a good plausible connection, tell me that Kamala didn't even show up to her watch party. Not sure if that's true or not, but it's a
Oh,
pretty good source.
is she the coach of the blue team?
I believe so. I believe
That's
so.
what I've heard.
What I have right here is 246 for red, 194 for blue.
Yeah.
So it's
So that's where we're at. But these gentlemen don't know. They don't know big joke energy. So we can't surprise them with big joke energy. Eric and Banning, next time you come on, if you decide to brave the water,
They ain't coming back on. That's what he's laughing. They're like, no, we survived. They're gonna immediately when they get off.
you're like, oh my god, I want to
what a
get
fucking
the
shit
hell
show.
out of here. We have what's called big joke energy.
Okay.
Where you bring your best jokes.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, but we're not going to do that tonight because
Okay.
we don't want to spring that on you.
Appreciate it.
So we have another segment, and this is our single moms shaming themselves.
Yes.
End of the show.
Okay.
And I don't know how this started. I really don't.
Curiosity.
I don't even remember.
Out of a segment we did in the show where we were reading a profile of a single mom,
Right. And
on,
it just grew.
like, Tinder. Like she posted. We started a discussion, and this woman posted a Tinder profile, and we read it, and we were very shocked at her inability to understand her fair market value, so to speak.
Okay.
So we decided to dedicate a segment to reading Tinder profiles for people that maybe are overestimating. And some of this, I love this. There is a Instagram account dedicated just to Idaho inmates in the Pocatello State Prison.
Okay.
There's a Pocatello female inmate state prison dating site where these girls like post, "Hey, I'm inmate number da 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 da. This is my conviction offense. Go ahead and send me a letter if you're interested." And we are going to bring that to another episode. But this episode, I thought we would talk about some of these Tinder profiles.
All right, start it off.
Because some of these are a little bit overestimating what they bring to the table. So I thought, Eric, we've blurred out names and faces.
Okay.
You're free to speak freely. This is a nameless woman, and here is her profile. I am a single mom and a content creator looking for a stepdad for my kids. Stepdad.
Okay.
Qualifications: must have a 6-figure salary.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Must have a car that can fit all my kids comfortably,
How many?
or be willing to 6. Well, oh, she didn't say 6 figures.
No, I should say yeah. 6
Must
years
be
high.
willing to buy a van or SUV.
Okay. So we got at least 2 kids.
Yeah.
At
Minimum.
least.
You need a 6-pack
Okay.
and no kids. She can bring as many kids as she wants.
Right. She got enough of her own. She got that covered. All right.
She's
But-
got 5.
You must have no kids.
Oh, I love this one.
We should be able to move in with you ASAP.
Okay.
6 foot plus.
I'm out. I had it up until then. I was good.
Banning's in. He's like, I'm good. I'm still in the running.
I
You
don't
must have
a
3
six-pack,
plus
I do have a
bedrooms.
It depends on the 6-pack you're talking about.
Oh, we now know how many 2 kids. You must have 3 plus bedrooms, 1 for us and 2 for my 2 kids. So
okay. Here we go.
she says, I bring myself and 2 kids and you can't have no kids, but you have to have a 3-bedroom house and make 6 figures. You must have your own house. Don't be into video games or fishing.
Yeah, I'm fucking way out. I'm way the fuck out.
That's striking deep.
Those are two of my
there.
favorite fucking things. I grew up in Michigan. Oh,
Wait.
my ass off.
B and IT. I don't know what B and IT is, but she does say yes, I do OnlyFans, including male actors.
Oh shit. Okay.
Don't be insecure,
Please.
ladies and gentlemen. She is a catch,
Oh, hold on. Okay.
and I don't know.
Can you go
I
back
wish
down
I
to
could
that
show you her
OnlyFans link?
face. She did not post it.
Did she cover her face? Or did you cover her face?
She covered her face, or whoever posted that covered her face.
Was that OnlyFans link and Peachy, like A and Peachy, or
I don't know. Here's our
Chuck
next.
wants to know.
thing.
I'm kind of interested to see what the fuck she looks
I just
like.
want to see what her
know.
face looks
Weird.
like.
As we get to our next participant in tonight, this is Kaylee, 21. Kaylee is 21. I'm pregnant
Okay, here we go.
and need a stepdad for my unborn child.
Here we go.
I have autism
Uh-huh.
and 14 other disabilities.
Including
God.
3 different personalities.
Damn.
I want somebody to love me. I won't date a smoker,
Okay.
and I can't be doing anything sexual
Mm,
because of safety reasons.
mhm.
I just need somebody for me and my child.
So not a titty fuck or a blowjob? A handy?
Gosh,
No handies?
Marco.
Also, I
I'm
can't
I'm
drive.
looking at options.
Got 14 disabilities,
Can't
bro.
drive.
Can't give her a 15th.
Also, I can't drive or ever handle my own credit card. I live off disability,
Oh.
so don't judge me.
Uh-huh.
Either you love me or you don't.
Don't.
You know, here's the reality of this: is if you're if you're a real
Oh.
estate person, if you're a real estate person, you get a couple houses. They're obviously not going to get a job. Put them in there, get the Section 8 guaranteed $1,200, $1,600 a month or whatever. They're not going to get. Just do it as a financial thing.
Yeah, you're not
Thinking
wrong.
outside the box.
That's
Wow.
wow. You were a
I-
fucking diabolical
That was quick.
genius.
I'm impressed.
That was smart. That's
Very
almost,
impressed.
that was way
He's
too
not
fast.
just a pretty
I'm
face,
sorry.
boys. He's not
I-
just a pretty face. I promise
I
you.
think he's already got this going. I think he's
He's got-
got like 4 of them on deck. It's like the new.
I've got
It's like
10
the
Reynolds.
20 It's like
Our
the
last one-
2024
Farmers
stable of
only.
hoes.
I
Who do
think
you
our
think-
last
By the way,
one is going to
he's right
spot
there.
some conversation. I think our last one is. This is not an OnlyFans profile.
Okay.
I came across this one because I thought with Eric and Banning,
Uh,
I would just throw the chum in the water and let you guys piranha the shit out of it.
all right. Hit us with it.
Marinate this thing. Let's go.
This is a woman who freely and without any reservation posted on the internet this post. When your son thinks he's slick, oh snap, thinks he's in love with her, but it's actually me on my fake account. 'Cause yeah, you can't play a player.
Damn. That's fucking diabolical.
And I
Wow.
wonder why we have such a messed up generation of children.
Is she a
Damn.
teacher?
Think
Fucking
you,
pro-
I
Dude,
think you just figured out how to start fucking school shootings right there. That's the recipe.
oh my God.
Holy
my God.
shit.
Seriously, gentlemen, go ahead, because there are so many things to unpack, and I just want you to unpack it for me.
I don't know where in the inbred catfish to even start on that. Because, like,
Inbred catfish.
yeah,
Just
like,
playing the side stage at
good one.
Coachella this year.
Band name, right?
You say unpack. Well, if I'm in control of it, she's never packing up, so she's going to stay wherever the hell she's at.
Yeah.
For starters, I can't believe the audacity. I'm hoping these are fake, but
No, they're not. That's why we
really.
bring these to the show, is because they're not fake.
Where
These are
has our
100%
school
what's
system
wrong
gone?
with society.
I mean, what? I mean, I understand looking for a free handout, but Jesus.
No, that's what we don't understand about this show is these are not people looking for a free handout. These are people who are putting the worst of themselves on display and acting like you're lucky to have them.
Yeah, and that's so here in parts of Texas, we refer to that as the 10th floor syndrome. I'm not going to go into details on that, but
well,
I mean, that's a certain hospital in a state somewhere that's the psychiatric floor. And these people, it sounds like they need help and a lot of it. I mean, because and having kids and putting yourself online like that, their parents must be proud.
Right.
And dad, maybe uncle, I don't know. But
Like the whole flash dance pose that she had going on.
Oh yeah. There's a level of broken that
Right.
And I'm going to tell you, that is not, as we close out the show, that is not the only shit that I have, right?
no, not by far.
I have so many more. I'll tell you right now, I have a headline that says, headline 1, I rang in my 30s with a foursome. Headline 2, from the same author, how did I become the last person in my friend group to be single?
Oh, I thought you were going to say have a kid.
I mean,
like
when you treat yourself like the piece of rotisserie chicken being fucking, stuck in both sides and then spun around, you know what I'm
When
saying?
you get a tattoo on your belly button, it says Boner Garage. Like,
Yeah.
that happens.
By the way, the first girl that came on, I did find her OnlyFans to see her face.
Yeah,
And she's by far, if that's the same chick I saw, by far the best looking woman we've ever read about on this single mom.
the best looking broken woman.
Eric and Banning, this is the
you
idea
couldn't tell
we've
that
been
she's
floating.
broken.
We
She
have
has good
discussed
camera
creating an OnlyFans account where we can actually respond to these ads.
I am definitely switching to vodka.
Yeah, right.
Me too. This
Tito's out, baby.
No holds barred. No holds barred.
Love it.
So, if you want to leave a, do we have? Matt didn't join us tonight, but we don't have voicemails and emails tonight. But
It's okay. We'll do it next week.
How can people do that?
All right. Well, yeah. We're just fucking there. Hello. Now it's gone. There it's back. It's gonna stay. It's gonna stay.
Yeah.
Stay. All right. It's gonna be lockerroommailbag@gmail.com. Once again, it's lockerroommailjag@gmail.com. You can also leave us a voicemail at 818-280-9822. Operators are not standing by. We will not answer the phone call unless, but if it's funny or you piss us off, we will call you during the middle of our live show. That you've been warned. So just letting you know. Also, you can reach us on TikTok.com at War Stories Locker Room. Right, War Stories. Yeah, War Stories. That's new, guys. Sorry, I'm still getting used to that. War Stories Locker Room on the good old Tiki Talkies, as the kids say. As always, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for sharing your valuable time with us. Please like, subscribe, and share us. Whore us around. We like to be hoarded, hooded, hookered. Okay. We're some putas.
Out.
We're some putas out here.
South American.
We do not mind if you spread us around the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? We don't care. We're some putas.
Right.
So, thanks, guys. We appreciate you guys. Eric, Manning, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you guys.
Manning, tell everybody where they can find Two Cops, One Donut, or say don't, because we don't want to associate ourselves with this bullshit.
Oh no, that's fine. You can find us at Two Cops, One Donut, all spelled out. Like you see Banning pointing at if you're watching. You can also find us on the audio. It's spelled differently. It's actually the number 2 cops, the number 1 donut. And we spelled them. We did it a little different for the audio versus the video stuff. So, but on social media, just look up 2 cops, 1 donut. You'll find us. I promise. Just look for the 2 little Simpsons cops, and you'll see where we're at. But yeah, that's how you can find us.
All
We're
right.
much more serious than we are. So, as usual, this is our live show. This is our locker room show. And as we've told Eric and Banning, there's nothing off limits in the locker room. When you go into the locker room, you discuss whatever comes to mind. And then when you go out on the street, you have to put on the uniform and you have to pretend that none of that existed. So that's why we call this locker room. Marco, I love you.
What? Huh?
I love you. That's all I'm saying. I'm glad you're here.
Hey, I'm glad
Yeah.
I made it. Carrying it all.
Thank you for bringing all this to bear. And the current score is 248 to 216. So until the next episode, we'll see you in the locker room.
Ladies, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Man, I gotta take a massive dump, man. I gotta tell you.